Hi, I'm Jacqueline, and I'll be telling you about the Co-locators project. And the mentors were Matt and Micah, and the participants on our group were Yuta, Mike, and myself. And just a little background on this project was that it began at Oceanhackweek 2019. And really, majority of what I'm going to show you today was they got a lot accomplished last year. And so a lot of it was thanks to their hard work. And our goal is just to expand on certain features in what ways we could. So what is co-locators? The goals of this package are to develop tools so that users can easily access data. And it's built similar to the GliderPy project, which was 2 presentations ago. It's built on the UrdaPy or UrdaPy package. And so I think there's a lot of room for collaboration between GliderPy and our project. But basically, so there are databases hosted all over the web with institutions that put their data on those servers, and the goal was to have a user choose a time and a space and like a area on a map and be able to find all the data sets no matter which server it's hosted on. And so that's the problem. Co-locate all that oceanographic data by establishing time and space constraints despite which server. And the application example that they came up with was a user is interested in all the available oceanographic data in a region where an eddy just formed. And the user, provides the geospatial bounds of the region and a temporal range, and you get an aggregated response of all of that available data. So here's a big part of this project is the user interface, which is still, we'd still like to develop more. So this is what the user sees, a map, and I chose this bound here, but you can choose anywhere in the world. And there's a little slider bar for the starting dates, and I just picked more recent data. And then the user has to specify which CF standard name or variables you're looking at. And so I'm gonna let Mike chime in because he was working on this aspect of our project.
Yeah, the code was in a state where it had hard coded a subset of CF standard names. So we were able to extend that to go out and grab an XML from the CF website and parse that to return all of the names. However, there was over 4,600 CF names, which was impractical to select from a drop-down. So we started to implement a keyword filter to be able to just return the names that match a number of keywords. And unfortunately, we weren't able to get that implemented in time. So currently, we're still at the state where they're hard-coded, but hopefully by next year we'll have that implemented.
Thanks, Mike. And so then the user will get a button to search the servers based on the space, time, and variables. And it went and it found 317 data sets that fit those criteria. And you can see, I haven't looked through this, but that it's going, what the package does is it goes through and iterates through all of these servers. So Bico Demo, all of iOS, and so it does it for you. So you don't have to go to each individual database and see what they have there. So I think we saw something similar from the GliderPy package, or maybe this is slightly different actually. This is slightly different. This is just showing you the servers, the data sets, and how to access that data given the constraints. And then there was another function written in to grab the coordinates. So all of this says is what data is available in the bounding box, but the next function that was written grabs the coordinates for each of the individual data sets. One of the problems that they came up with last year was that if there are, I guess, 317 data sets, there was just too much data returned. And so this function currently returns 10 random sub-selection of those, of the 317 data sets. And what I worked on, which I guess I didn't print out here, was so that for each of the 10 randomly selected data sets, what kind of data type it is. So is it a trajectory profile? And so the goal would be that users either at this step or the step before we filter out the 10 would be able to, would be able to make selections from drop-down menus based on what they're interested in. So I was interested in selecting based on collection method. So this is where I think that there's some interesting collaboration with GliderPy. So like you could search for glider data. Or Micah worked on this week, which I don't know if he wanted to come in and explain, but basically he worked on using a package called Panel to make this interface for users to make selections. So this was all of the data sets that are available on all these servers. But if we wanted to filter by server, that was a possibility. So yeah, we were looking at expanding how users could filter and search once we've aggregated all of the possible data sets. And sorry, this map isn't as pretty, but it was just pooling this one. This was the data sets that were pooled and their locations. And I think the colors represent institution. So yeah, I was really, this was brand new for me. I really thank everyone in my group and my mentors and our mentors. And I just think this package is really cool. And like, there's a lot of room for development. So yeah, stay tuned, joined in, whatever.